Good day, everybody. So, I just received a report from JAWS. And an analysis on what actually caused the failure of that collapsed building. Before that incident, I have started with my teaching series on building collapse. I know many people would not like to listen, would not like to follow, would not like to learn, so that this recurring decimal will not happen again. So they have analyzed it. They went to the site, the beauty site, and they were able to discover that the approved plan was not followed strictly. Discovered that the approved plan was not followed. The government, which is the Ministry of Physical Planning in JOS, approved only 2 floors, which is the ground floor and the first floor. They went to add another floor to it, making it 3 floors. But the drawings they submitted to the ministry was just 2 floors, 1 ground floor and 1 suspended floor. So I don't really know who to be blamed in that respect. Is it the ministry that's supposed to make sure that what was approved was built, or the contractor or the building owner, which is the school owner, that neglected what was approved and start building something else? And they also discover poor foundation. They discover substandard material. A lot of white 10 was being used in the construction. A lot of white 10, which is 10 mm, was used in the construction. So it was also discovered that there was no supervision. They didn't employ the service of a competent engineer or a competent architect. So I have been hammering on this. I've been hammering on this. You cannot start your building project without consulting an architect. You cannot start your building project without employing the service of an architect. Many of you like to patronize quacks. You like to patronize quacks. You have been listening to my teacher series. You have not sent me a DM. Tomorrow you go and contact a quack who will handle your building project. Sorry shall be your name.
In Nigeria. In the last 4 weeks, 5 buildings have collapsed between the FCT, Anambra, and Plateau State. We visited the site of Friday's collapse in Jos, Plateau State, with a team of current licensed engineers who are also members of the NSC. We were very sad when we discovered that the greedy school owner and the contractor built what was not approved, building 2 suspended floors instead of the single level that was approved. One wonders where the state planning authorities were when this development was going on. It's a construction crime scene because, on top of the fact that the soil is unstable, there's an illegal mining site in that area. Now, don't you blame the parents, because they are victims in this case. However, whenever you see a building around a quarry or a mining site, you should generally avoid it, because we have a lot of unregulated mining activity in Nigeria as a matter of fact. The point, therefore, is that you should assume that they are not doing the right thing and not leave or get a school or rent a house or do anything around any of these quarries or mining sites. You may have seen some of our videos where I also warn people against renting houses near canals or rivers or streams, because it is safe to generally assume that people have not done the right thing, and for your own safety you should just avoid those places. Now, to worsen this matter, there had been continuous rain in Jos Metropolis and several parts of Nigeria over the last couple of weeks, which significantly weakened the soil and of course gave way for this weak structure to easily collapse. Our team also observed the extensive use of white 10 or 10 mm rods, reinforcement rods, in the rubble. What this tells you is that they probably used 10 mm rods for the slabs or the columns, or maybe even for the foundation. There's also no indication that they used a raft foundation, which is what is typically ideal for unstable soil in this kind of location. The very fact that the rubbles disintegrated completely with very little evidence of aggregate further goes to show that there was absolute neglect for all professional standards, and there was probably little or no supervision at all by even the state regulators. I mean, just look at this portion of the foundation, for God's sake. And we've not even talked about the fact that they may have used inferior materials for the work. You definitely don't want a team of incompetent people like this handling your project and putting the lives of hundreds at risk. It is cheaper for you to engage a competent team, and we are just a DM away. We encourage the current government of Plateau State to ensure that planning standards begin to be upheld in the state, while the perpetrators of this are brought to book, so that there will be justice for all of these children whose lives have been lost. We also urge developers of school buildings to ensure that they are not trying to manage and cut corners, as this is the third school building collapsing in the space of about 6 months in Nigeria. Oh, and by the way, this Jos building actually sank before it collapsed.